make the strings.
Very pretty.
What's up, guys? So we're at the shop today, and it's not, I guess, any earlier than I typically get here. It's around noon. So today is Saturday, and I guess kind of the goal for today is to get this bumper in primer, and which shouldn't be too bad of a goal. I really would like to paint this thing. I guess we'll see how all this stuff stands out. If I could feather it out and it's smooth enough, we might be able to get it painted today. But nonetheless, the goal of this video is to get Jaymie's bumper painted for her Saab. So that is that's the primary subject of this video, I guess, or I think, or it might turn into something else. We might pull the engine out of this thing. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I put bug spray on the headlight because it looked like that. I put like some deep bug spray on it, and it made it look like this. But yeah, so I spent entirely too much time last week like messing with the other red Saab, like piecing that whole thing together, and it just took like way longer than I thought it would. But yeah, I don't know. I guess today we're just gonna go ahead, get started on this. I'm gonna scuff it down, probably start with like 180 or so down here, see how that works, maybe 80 grit, and then do like some high build kind of flex primer on it, and then let it sit. And like I said, I would like to paint it today, but I don't know if we're gonna have time. But look at that pile of Mustang parts right there. I don't know. Alright guys, so I'm getting ready to spray the bumper with some primer sealer. It's basically a 2K primer sealer, that stuff I was using on the Supra. That's a little bit more high build than a normal sealer. I don't know, I was gonna high build prime this thing and actually like block it out. There's only a couple like decent sized like little rock chips and stuff in it, and I pretty much filled those with a little bit of that icing, and that stuff gets hard pretty quick. So I was just using a razor blade kind of going around. I just need to buzz these ones down just a little bit with some 320 and wipe it down again, and then we should be ready to spray. So you know, if we do get any shrink back or anything, and kind of like the bodywork, it'll only be down at the bottom, and I don't think it'll be super noticeable. But if I was going to do the high build, I was going to like let it sit overnight and then come back tomorrow and paint it. But I just want to paint it tonight. You know, I just want it to be like a quick little job. But yeah, here's that 2K sealer. And I pretty much like using stuff with hardeners in it. It just seems like it's the best. Yeah, that's about it. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to paint. So this, the bumper looks pretty damn smooth. I think it's gonna turn out pretty all right. So yeah, that stuff, I had to do 2 coats. I basically ran out on the first coat. I didn't make enough, which was all right, because then I made a little bit more and was able to kind of put another coat on some of the spots where I think it might need it. You know, help fill in a couple of the scratches and stuff and the chips. But while I'm kind of waiting for that stuff, you can see here, look how clean this headlight looks. That's kind of stupid, because I actually did the whole like stupid bug cleaner thing to it, and I don't know, it like sitting overnight or something like made it look a little bit better. And then I did do like a little bit of a degrease and kind of wiped it off, so that might have added a little bit of shine to it. But anyhow, one of the things that always happens to me when I end up painting is I have like a little bit of extra clear coat left, and it always, you know, I always get upset because I got like this nice expensive clear coat, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this? Well, I got these headlights right here, so I might as well just go ahead and buzz them down real quick, because that stuff, since it is kind of a 2K thing, I'm going to let it flash off for like 20-30 minutes. So about another 15 minutes or so, I'll go ahead and actually put the red down on that. But in the meantime, I might as well sand these guys down, and then I'll be able to clear coat them, and then it'll look brand new. So just for the fun of it, this is a headlight off of Jaymie's car. That was, you know, the tabs were broken, and I got a set from some guy on one of the Saab forums. So you can see how kind of dirty and grimy it is. And so yeah, I got this random stuff that was laying around the shop, and let's see what it does. Just to show you guys how stupid this is, that it seems to work. Like if you bought a car on Craigslist and you like didn't want to drive it home with like the ugliest headlights in the world, so basically I just put it on like this. Kind of looks like it does something to it. Let's see, it almost looks like it got like a fisheye, and then I just kind of wadded the paper towel up, and I just did this. And I kind of like left a film of it on there. Man, that stuff sucks. You can see all that crap. Yeah, maybe it does, but it seriously almost like looks like it got better after it sat. But I mean, you guys seen this thing when it first started. That definitely helped out a lot. But it's going to be nothing compared to what these things are going to be when I actually sand them and clear coat them, because then they just look like brand new. So that's it's almost stupid that made it look that good though. Like, it was kind of crazy. Alright, so these guys are all sanded. Basically, I was using a 800 grit disc with some soap and water on the DA, and did that for a while, and then went ahead and like hand kind of sanded it with 1000 grit. Kind of brought it back a little bit, and yeah, that should make these things like crystal clear. And you know, you can see this one just kind of hanging out over here. But yeah, it's time to spray some red down. So I'm gonna spray some red, and then I'll get these things all wiped down, degreased, and then throw them up, and we'll get to clear coating something. So there she is. It seemed like it turned out all right. I mean, it got a little bit of dirt and stuff in it, which is to be expected with it kind of, you know, just open shop. But honestly, it's not bad. It's no like big giant things. It's just kind of little bitty, little flecks and stuff here and there. But yeah, so I only did one coat of clear on the bumper. I was reading a little bit about like flex additives and all that other stuff, and people were saying that, you know, pretty much with like the new like high-end clear coats and stuff, which I used the like the BBC 3000 or the Deltron 3000. So that's basically like their like fast production clear, but like still really high-end stuff. And so yeah, I shouldn't have any issues with like flex as long as we don't like, you know, run into like curbs and stuff. But basically with the one coat, that stuff is really good. Has really good UV protection and stuff, so we shouldn't have any issues with it like fading or anything, or at least within like the next 10 years, which by then we probably won't even have the car. But it, you know, it'll, if you do kind of get into something, one layer flex is easier than like 2 or 3 coats, so that's why I only did 1 coat on it. I did 2 coats on these headlights, but yeah, those things turned out beautiful. So I'm pretty stoked on those. So like I said, those headlights and this front end and basically this engine and tranny and everything are going in that other blue wagon outside with the subframe damage. But that'll be another video. We'll be back tomorrow, and since this is like the production clear, this stuff should be fully cured and pretty much ready to install on the car tomorrow. So you guys will get a finished product of that. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go home. I am pretty stoked on this whole like paint cabinet setup. It seemed like it worked really well. I've been pretty much rolling out like a layer of this so I don't get a whole bunch of ugly paint and stuff on the counter. But it's nice because everything kind of has its place, and then I could kind of clean it up and make it look like that versus it being just some, you know, ugly giant pile of mess on a wood desk. So I'll be back tomorrow. Alright guys, so it is day 2 at the shop, or we just got back to the shop. So the bumper sat in here all night, and like I said last night, this clear is kind of the production clear, and so it should be pretty much cured enough at least to be able to install it, so it doesn't, you know, doesn't fingernail or anything like that, which is good. So yeah, I need to do a little install on like this. This is like the tow hook cover. These are the windshield washer covers. Put all like the grills, the lower thing, the fog lights, all that stuff in here. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna get started on that. There she is. Sorry for the wind if there's some wind noise, but yeah, that looks a lot better. I still need to put on the front bumper, like the license plate bracket, but it's just nice seeing it with the actual silver things in the bottom, the nice like wider arrow opening with the black lip on the bottom, and the fog lights. So because it was all pretty much every time you got in here, it would throw like a code for the fog lights. So like as soon as she had to like get in here, she had to click this little clear button a bunch of times. Right now it's showing that the tire pressure monitoring system is weird, and then also like the headlight, like the cornering headlight things. But the rear, I don't know, I think the rears, because they're good tire pressure, that I think just the sensors are old. So yeah, it's nice though, because when you first start it, instead of doing fog light, it says tire pressure low, oil pressure low. The sensor's messed up, and then cornering headlights malfunction. So oil pressure low. That we've already tested that. When the oil pressure says it's low, I've just put it to the rug, and it hasn't blown up. So it's not the oil pressure. I guess the oil pressure sensors go bad on here. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice with the fog lights. I'm pumped about that. I think she will be too. All right. So I was reading online that you have to reprogram these headlights, or do like a calibration with a Tech 2. Sorry, it's not really focusing on the actual thing, but so this is my China Tech 2. I bought it off of somewhere, I don't know. I got it off this like weird OBD2 tools.com or something like that. But which I'll show you kind of where I'm at with it. So I'm in the headlamp leveling calibration, and then it gives me a code for like a negative response. So I'm gonna let it do its thing, and then I'll show you guys what it says. So it's really nice if you own a Saab, or if you like mess with a lot of Saabs, to actually have one of these Tech 2 things. Like I said, this one is a clone, and it came with like a CD to use the Saab thing. But then I ended up buying a like a Saab card off of eBay for it, and there's like a card slot that's up here in the back of it. I don't know if I should pull that open. Yeah, but there's like a card that goes in there, and I have the Saab card in it. But I don't know. There's like the security thing. And it won't, because I initially bought this to program an ECU for another car I have outside, and it just didn't work. So yeah, so that's what it's given me. I don't know exactly what that means, but yeah, we'll exit out of that. Maybe we'll see what happens if I turn. See, but you could do all kinds of stuff in here. So you go to like the engine, the body. You could like basically change like the heating and ventilation and power windows and theft protection and airbag and seat belts. I wonder what we could do with this. We could exit, theft protection, theft alarm, immobilizer, steering column lock. Yeah, I wonder what we could do with this. Turn up the alarm, make it crazy. Go to adjustments, disable detection, type of arming. Huh. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyhow, yeah, you could change a bunch of settings in here. You could change like whether you could turn your headlights off, or whether like you could turn them like all the way off, or if they're just like on all the time. So auto, they're off now. I don't know. I'm gonna keep messing with this thing. But yeah, I initially did try to program an ECU for another car, and it wouldn't let me. So that's why I initially bought it. So any of you Saab guys who have ever messed with a Tech 2, this is where I run into issues. Is so you need security access from TIS 2000. So you need to connect it to like a Windows PC with like a ROM cable, or like a serial cable, and actually get access so you can enable programming. Because right now, I was just trying to change something with, so like when you lock or unlock the car, it like honks the horn, and it wouldn't let me do it. So, but like I said, when I have that other thing, my laptop or something stupid, I need to get like a Panasonic like Toughbook or something like that with like Windows XP, like with the perfect service pack to make it work. But if any of you guys know any about that, let me know. What do you think, Jaymie?
I think driving your car was scary, but my car looks pretty now.
So Jaymie took my Saab today, the manual wagon, and so she had to go into town and do a couple other things. And how many times did you kill it?
Well, once on the way back.
But you were scared the whole time.
Well, because I hit all the stoplights.
Well, that's good. That's good practice.
It is good practice.
And I wasn't. And she probably did a lot better driving it than when I'm with her, because when I'm with her, she just gets nervous. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think of your car?
It looks very pretty.
Are you?
You got the hail damage fixed.
Yeah, it does. It did receive some hail damage in a storm we had, which really sucks. Where's it at? Yeah, you can see a couple little
Really nice
dents and stuff. But yeah, that front bumper is like really nice. I don't know. I'm super pumped about that because I always wanted the Aero bumper on it. I knew we'd eventually find one, but these things are so dang expensive. What?
My like turning headlights work?
No. No, I was trying to mess with them in that's that scanner I just had, and I couldn't. There's like a error in there, so I need to figure that out. Could be like a loose connection or something. I don't know. If any of you guys know how to look up those errors, I'm gonna message the Saab parts guy, the guy who runs that website, and ask him if he knows anything about that, because he's like the Saab guru. He actually has the same exact thing, but his is just a 6-speed manual instead of the 6-speed automatic. But yeah, Jaymie loves this car. I love this car. Oh, I aired up the tires, and I got the tire pressure monitoring system to go off. Okay. So you'll have less lights now. You only have to clear 2, which is like the oil pressure one and the headlight, the cornering headlight things. But they work. I think what it is I think this one works and this one doesn't, because I was doing like a test with it and this one wasn't doing it. This one wasn't like leveling, only that one was. So I don't know. maybe I'll have to throw like one of those headlights in here or something and test it. But I already got the bumper on, so I don't want to take it off. Yeah, this is the one Jaymie was on. I really do love this car. So, but like I said, my dad's gonna be getting this one, and then this wagon over here.
Is that one a manual?
Yeah, this one's the same as that. So this one is gonna be the new daily. You can see it's a manual. This one's definitely a lot more dirty than the rest of them, but so this whole front end is getting replaced. Doesn't look bad right here, and then you look down there and you're like, oh wow, the whole subframe got pushed back.
What are you replacing it with?
What?
The front end. What do you
The car and the lift in there.
I didn't pay attention.
Well, that's the flooded one. So yeah, this one's gonna be the new daily eventually, and then the other car that I was talking about, I've had this thing for I don't even know how long, way too damn long. I basically bought it kind of cheap, and what it was doing is it'll start and it'll run perfect for like 5 minutes until the ECU, like the capacitors, get hot, I guess is like a common issue with them. So with these like because this is an 03, like the 03, 04s had issues with the ECUs and the capacitors and stuff. And so basically I need to like replace the ECU with like a new one. I have one out of an 06, and I was trying to program it, but that stupid like Tech 2 thing, I couldn't gain security access through Tech 2. So the other thing I thought about doing is just, since this car is a 06, and it has the engine that has the timing issues, and I already robbed a bunch of parts off it, and I don't think I'm ever gonna fix this one. I guess you could use this, this is the CIM. I think I could take this, the key thing. I don't even know if I would have to take the key thing. And then basically the key fob and the ECU, and then just put it in that car, and then that one would probably work, and I could sell it, which I'd have to sell that one like really cheap because I don't feel like painting it. But I get too many Saabs, I get too many things, and I need to quit worrying about all that stuff. But eventually this one's gonna get torn down, and all the parts robbed. Like I said, this one has a non-rebuildable title from Texas, so it was the flood car, and I wouldn't really want to, you know, chance a lot of the wiring and electrical stuff too, just basically by seeing. I looked at the starter last night, and that's the reason why it wasn't starting, is because the starter is really, like the wires going to the starter are super corroded. So I need to basically pull off kind of the radiator support, get all that stuff out of the way so that I can actually get to the starter, clean it, and then see if I could crank it and see if it'll start up. So I guess this is going to be a bonus scene. I have a little bit of time to kill before I'm going to go eat dinner with the family. But so one of the things, like I said, this thing I haven't been able to get it to start because the starter won't kick over, because it is basically super corroded. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take off this intake pipe. I'm going to probably pull off this upper radiator support. Maybe I'll just pull off the intake pipe first, see if I could actually get down to the starter and clean up some of the contacts, and see if I could get this thing to actually crank over and start by itself. Because I really would like to see this thing run before I basically put this whole engine tranny and everything in that other one. But yeah, we'll try that. So I connected the Tech 2, and it was showing a connection issue between the CIM, which is basically kind of like the steering wheel lock and all that stuff, and then the ISM, which is like the ignition switch module or something like that. You could see, since the water was right here, you could see how that's all corroded right there, and it said that it had a short to ground. And so yeah, I think maybe if I clean that out a little bit, it might work. But it also said I'm assuming if that's that bad, the airbag control module is the same thing, but it said that it didn't have airbag control module installed, which I'm assuming is because it's all crusty and ugly looking like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug that connection, plug it back in, and see if I can get it to do something. Alright guys, so I believe that is going to be the official end of this video, or at least me working on something in this video. And I'm going to ramble for a second, but yeah, so I think I need to just go ahead and buy one of those Panasonic like Toughbook computers. So if any of you guys have like a Toughbook, or used to work at a dealership, or you got one laying around or something, let me know. I do want to purchase one of those so that I could, load all my software and stuff for the Saabs. It just seems like people have the best luck with those. I don't know, the laptop that I have is like a Windows 7, and then I updated it, and it's just a piece of crap. Super slow. Does not like doing programs and stuff. Even like super basic tuning programs, it absolutely sucks at. The other laptop that I have that actually has Windows XP on it, which you need for this software to work, is like the screen's broken off of it, and it has a serial port in it, but it's, I don't know, I was having issues with it last time, so, and yeah, the screen's broken off of it, so I have to use like an external monitor, and you know, working in cars and stuff like that, it doesn't really work. But yeah, like I said, definitely need to get that so I could load my software onto something. I don't think so. I went ahead and I plugged in a new like ignition switch and turned it on, and it basically did the same thing, and you know, it like primes the fuel pump and it won't crank. So it's not communicating with the airbag control module either, and up underneath the dash there's just like a bunch of rust and stuff like that, like rust and little, you know, random corrosion and all the wires and stuff. So I was thinking about making a video of like, you know, like 10 reasons why not to buy like or 10 things to look for or to be aware of, like when you're buying like a flood car or something like that. That's kind of something I was thinking about doing, but this thing's gonna get pulled apart sometime. I don't know. I thought about doing it this week and just getting all my Saab things out of the way. We do have a big giant like pile of parts for the Mustang, so get excited for that. We did get something for the Supra. So be excited for that. I do need to look around and see if I have something for the oil pan. I'm going to go ahead and order like or if any of you guys have a rear sump oil pan set up and some Mark IV Supra motor mounts, like the actual aluminum pieces that bolt to the bracket, let me know, but I'm probably going to be ordering those within the next day or so. So yeah, I'm gonna start moving along on some projects. If you're curious what happened to my face, I did a little bit of a live stream, and things got kind of carried away. If you guys wanna go check that out, but Noah Podell, you're a savage. He made me shave my beard off, which might be a good thing. Maybe it'll give me an excuse to paint the Supra, because now now my face is all shaved and the mask will see a little bit better. Dave was telling me that it was time to pull off the Civic off the shelf.
I told him now that he looks like he's 14 again, he can pull a Civic down.
Yeah, because this is what I used to look like when I was messing with Turbo Civics. And Jaymie like was just freaked out. She said it looks exactly like how I was in high school. But again, appreciate you guys watching. Jaymie's stoked about her bumper. It's got fog lights. It has less lights that pop up on the dash now. But yeah, once I get like the whole Tech 2 thing figured out, I could kind of actually program modules, and I could just delete the headlight like module so that it doesn't care about it, and the headlights will just stay locked where they are, and it won't have any codes. So that's an option. Again, like the Saab Tech 2 things, those things are not super complicated, but they're finicky. They're really finicky, especially like the China ones and stuff. But again, appreciate you guys watching, and we'll be back in a couple days or day or so working on probably a Mustang. Dave's gonna sell his truck, right?
I don't know, we'll see.
He's on the auctions right now, looking
for
trucks.
Looking for 17s.
See you guys later.